All right, what's going on, guys? WeBull's back again, and yeah, so let's talk about Roka Paramia, because I feel like a lot of people are torn because of her being like using the Mugetsu that she has in her special move animation in BBS. Usually, Caleb does a good job at portraying what gets told in the stories. We've seen that with Thousand Year Blood War True Shikai Ichigo with the Getsuga Juji show, where he does red and blue. For those that don't know, when originally True Shikai Ichigo was shown in Jump Force, a lot of people were mad because that wasn't like he only had his blue, like, you know, like the regular Getsuga Tensho. But a lot of people brought up, it's like, oh, it's supposed to be red and blue. It's crazy that Bleach Brave Souls did a better job at showing Getsuga Juji show versus Jump Force's version of it. And then eventually Jump Force fixed it, but I mean, that doesn't change the fact that Caleb did a good job portraying and changing things, right? Like if I actually go to BBS Simulator and I go into Ishin, Ishin originally, like when this Ishin came out and it was red, they actually changed his blue fire into red fire too. Like I don't, if I type in a Bleach, Brave Souls, and then I type in Ishin, there it is. You'll see here that it used to be blue, which is kind of interesting, right? So then they changed it to red when this Thousand Year Blood War Ishin came out. So I'm just giving like little history lessons. So when it came to this Roka, Aaron actually posted this in the group chat, and yeah, so I'll just give this to you. Oh, okay, give me 1 second, I'll pull it up. All right, so here's a little excerpt from the novel. Also, for those that want to support the official material, Bleach Spirits Are Forever With You Volume 1 is over here on Amazon. I'm going to put an affiliate link down below if you want to support the, you know, content and support content. If you want to support titekubo/Shueisha, and if you want to support me, I'm saying affiliate link. And then on top of that, Spirits Are Forever With You 2. Keep in mind that Spirits Are Forever With You 2 is kind of limited. Like there's literally only one left in stock, so just keep that in mind, all right? So yeah, let's get back into the video. Cien tells Roka to stop. Using an attack like this while not being its rightful owner would have severe consequence on her as well. She knows that. She knows she has no right to use this power, a power which Kurosaki Ichigo had gained after overcoming despair again and again. Her body might crumble, but she can't think of any other way to defeat Cien. She can't replicate Aizen's powers without the Hogyoku, and she can't properly replicate the Hogyoku or things like Baragon's curse with just her threads alone. Her threads turn black. A black sword grows in her hand. This is the part that I really want to emphasize. Part of her arm ruptures. She can't handle this much power. Her neck, her legs, her organs, her body is losing. She's bleeding all over, but she swings the blade. She doesn't utter its name. She unfairly snatched the boy's technique. That's why at least she won't lay her fingers on its name. The dark... That's why at least she won't lay fingers on her. That's such a strange wording. I mean, this is translated, so just be wary of that. The dark night of Huecomundo gets enveloped by an even darker shadow. Cien is trapped in a dark place. He's surrounded by death. He starts to crumble. No, he still has to fulfill his promise to the Shinigami. He promised they would fight again. He can't die yet. So, as you'll see here, she does actually use the Mugetsu. So it's kind of strange that Caleb decided to have her make an effigy of Ichigo and then have him use the Mugetsu, and as she claims ownership of Aizen, where she doesn't actually do that. So I'm interested to see why they did all this. To be honest, I'm sure there's a reason for it, but I mean, it is what it is. That's just a little history on the character, and yeah. So going into it, she does have a lot of stuff to her that I really like. First off, she has Sprinter +2, and she also has Long Stride. I love characters that can fly across the battlefield, and I feel like that's a lot of fun. Now, I will be comparing her a lot to this Retsu in particular, and I'm also going to bring up this 7th anniversary Ichigo, because I do believe that 7th anniversary Ichigo right now is a very big menace, as well as Yamamoto in content like Arena, because I feel like she's an arena. She's made to be an arena character, which I'll get into in a bit. So Berserker 40%. Actually, let me pull up this. So if I bring up Roka and I bring up Berserker 40%, along with Status Ailment, Spiritual Pressure Boost 80%, and then she also has Frenzy +1, and then on top of that she has full stamina damage 40% SAD, which is really strong, so 40% extra strong attack damage after the fact. Like, this character is going to hit incredibly hard. Now, if I want to compare her damage to someone like Retsu's, for example, let me actually bring up Retsu, because Retsu's crazy. Retsu deals really, really good damage. She also has Frenzy too. So if I type in Retsu, type in Berserker 20%, full stamina damage boost, let's say 45%, because let's T15 these characters, right? Full stamina damage boost, 25%, because that's going to be base. That's a good crack right there. And then we also have a Frenzy +2. And then what kind of links are we going to put on these characters? Let's do the Chad link. Let's do the Senkaizen link. So for some damage boost, 20% Berserker, and then let's do a 16% SAD. That way they also have access to like a bit more strong attack recharge, because I do like strong attack recharge. And then we type in 16% Berserker. And this will give us access to like 24 to, yeah, like something like 24 to like 22 to 28 strong attack recharge, depending on the links that you're using, right? So adding these together, that's going to be 36% SAD, and then 45% full stamina damage boost. This is going to be a long video because we're going to be calculating damage here. So full stamina damage boost. This is going to be base full stamina damage boost, by the way. Base full stamina damage boost. Just keep in mind that she has full strong attack damage boost, full stamina damage boost 40%, but only for her SAD. And then I guess I could type in full stamina damage boost SAR 6%, because like she does get, like Retsu does proc her strong attack so fast. It's really, really good. And then we also have access to Retsu has Weaken and Drain, and Roka has just Weaken, which I do love Drain, but I mean, it is what it is. Okay, so yes, spiritual pressure boost 80. Okay, cool, perfect. So let's bring out the calculator. Let's talk about the damage on this Roka. Now, obviously, you could get damage to weaken enemies plus 20%, damage to drain enemies 20%. I don't want to add that, because then I'd rather have these characters be like full stamina damage boost, maybe weaken defense. Keep in mind that since Roka does have full stamina damage boost, since she does have Sprinter +2 and Long Stride already built into the character, like you could go Long Stride on the Retsu in order to like make, how do I put it, to compensate for the speed that Roka has. But I think that both these characters are really, really, really good. So yeah, let's just assume that Roka gets weakened defense and Retsu either gets Long Stride if you want to have fun with her. So I'm going to calculate both weakened defense. I'll do 30% and I'll also do 60% when we're going to calculate in soul bombs. And for Roka, we'll just do weakened defense, because like Sprinter 2 Long Stride, I don't really think you give her anything else, because if you need hidden enemies, then just get just put a Zeta Ball on. Either way, the hidden enemies, if you do the T15, isn't going to translate to Arena anyways, but we'll talk about Arena after. All right, so let's just talk about damage. Raw damage. Boom, boom. Okay, so both these characters are going to have a total of, this one's going to be 76% Berserker, so times 1.76 for the Berserker, times 1.25 full stamina damage boost, times 1.7 for full stamina damage boost, and then she has Frenzy +1 times 1.4 for the 40% strong attack damage, and then we also have times 1.65 roughly for the status ailment spiritual pressure boost. So like base damage for someone like Roka, let me actually move this up a bit more. So Roka base damage is 1382 from strong attack damage. That's not the special move. We're gonna do X for special move. This is gonna be special move damage, and then we'll do Retsu over here. Okay, so that's going to be the damage that we're going to be getting from Roka. I'm hoping that I did the Berserker, I did the status element, I did the full stam, damage boost SAD, didn't do the weakened defense yet, but we'll get to that. And then if we go to Retsu, she doesn't have a lot more she doesn't have like a crazy amount of multipliers, whereas Roka does. Keep in mind, Roka does need to proc her status element to get that spiritual pressure boost 80%. So if I type in 1382 divided by that, oh, it's right there, 837. 837 without SP 80. Okay, so I'll just add that and just, you know, for clarity's sake. I don't want anyone being like, oh, but what if she doesn't get it? Because I mean, it is what it is. So base damage for Retsu times 1.56 for the Berserker times 1.9 for the full stamina damage boost. Ooh, that Retsu is crazy, bro. Times 3 for the Frenzy plus 2. Okay, and you'll see here that Retsu's damage is roughly 889.2 base damage, right? So that's going to be her strong attack damage. You'll see here that Roka has a lot more damage thanks to the access from that full stamina 40% SAD that gets calculated separately from the full stamina damage boost. Because Roka technically only has over here 70% full stam, where Retsu does have 90, right? With the 45 and then plus 45 again. And then that full stamina damage boost, 40% strong attack damage, full stamina only, and then the spiritual pressure boost will literally just crack, like make her cracked. So even though Retsu does have a 3000 length beam, the godlike beam, Roka will deal more damage with her first strong attack if she's able to get a good amount of hits off. Just keep in mind that Retsu does have that crazy beam with the crazy whiff. So you have, in my opinion, Retsu's first strong attack is superior because she deals sufficient damage. As of right now, she deals sufficient damage for the meta that's currently going on. And I do genuinely like the beam more than the 18% magnification for strong attack. But I do want to tell you guys that, I just want to beat into your head a little bit that just because Retsu deals more width and stuff like that, it doesn't mean that this Roka is going to be doo-doo. I see a lot of people talking crap about this Roka, and I think she's going to be fine. Her second strong attack is going to be the Vortex, so you are going to be dependent on that Vortex tracking the enemies in order to actually deal damage, whereas Retsu's is also the Vacuum pushback. Do I think Retsu's a better character? As of right now, I think that she's a better character. I also like her third strong attack being an AoE distant heal. AoE distant charge third strong attack with the heal, because you're actually able to bring your characters up to full stam. But this character also has access to some support stuff where they both have Marauder / Sharpshooter, which is good. She's immune to status elements, where Retsu I don't believe is immune to anything. I think that she's kind of dead in the water if she accidentally steps on a puddle. Whereas Roka will actually heal her allies, and she will she'll heal her allies with the recover 20% stamina, but she will also cause the shared complete status immunity, which I think is really good. So I think that they both have their place in the game, which I think is really, really important to note, right? So this is just base damage multipliers, right? So I'm not trying to trash Roka, I'm not trying to trash Retsu. I think they're both going to be excellent units. I think that they're both going to be used in different ways. Another thing that I like about Roka is that because of the way that she's built, she's going to be really good for content like Senkaimon because of her Vortex as well as her pushback for strong attack. So it's going to help you dodge, since you also have access to the long stride sprinter, which I think is awesome. I personally like this character. I'm trying not to get completely flamed for like being on either side. I feel like I just think they're both good characters. I mean, it is what it is. Like if people are mad about that, they can be mad. But either way, I do think that they both provide a good amount of support. Roka also has access to the revive mechanic, which could actually cause your team to obviously survive longer, but swap out those last ditch links in content like IT, because if Roka does her soul bomb before like in the second room when the bosses start to finally spawn, and you time it right and make sure that your allies don't die in the first 2 rooms, which skill issue, then at the very least, like, you're a bit safe as you're progressing through Inheritance Trial. Now obviously this is going to take some mental stamina, because you have to make sure that you don't miss that strong attack while you're farming IT, but nowadays that you're doing ×5 IT, I don't think it's that crazy to be like, oh yeah, okay, oh, you missed your soul bomb. Like sometimes you mindlessly just tone out when you're farming IT, at least when you were doing ×1 runs. Nowadays with the ×5, ×6 runs, if you have the passport, it's a lot easier and a lot less mentally straining to pay attention to Bleach Brave Souls for extended periods of time. Extended periods of time. I can't believe I did that. I think I farmed like, on 3 occasions, I think I farmed out full 8-hour sessions of IT. It was really gross, and I'm not proud of it. yeah, so I mean, that's pretty much Roka in a nutshell. I think she's really good. I think she has her place. Going into Arena, she does get access to start power up item +2, so she's going to start off with a lot of damage, and she's also going to start off with a lot of stamina and defense. I think that's really, really, really nice. Now, she also ends up picking up Frenzy +1 and increased special move uses. The reason that I like this is that since she has the Spiritual Pressure boost 80%, she's also picking up Frenzy +2, Berserker 40%, plus... excuse me, and then she also gets the increased strong attack damage when she's at full stam. So she'll have the revive mechanic when she uses a soul bomb. She'll pick up her spiritual pressure boost, so you can use your soul bomb early game to make sure that you start early with your spiritual pressure boost. And she has a frenzy +2, which means that you're going to be able to proc those strong, you're going to be able to proc that spiritual pressure boost whenever you need it, in my opinion. And then she also has shared complete status immunity, so if she's the leader, she can also provide status immunity to your allies who might end up getting hit by a strong attack and then being either paralyzed, burned, or whatever. So if they're running like 7th anniversary Ichigo and you're running Roka Paramiya, Yamamoto, or your own Ichigo for that shared complete status immunity, you can give immunity to your allies who might end up getting hit by that same Ichigo. So yeah, overall, really, really, really good character. The fact that she got Sprinter 2, Long Stride, some good damage multipliers on her, and then on top, like, she has good damage multipliers without the Spiritual Pressure boost. The Spiritual Pressure boost, for me personally, is just icing on the cake. I think it's just nice to have because I feel like that edges out her bad kit. I don't think that her Vortex is bad. I like homing Vortexes personally, even if it doesn't have that 960. I think that the 960 homing Vortex is broken. I still think that. But the Vortex alone, I think, is very well balanced. And the fact that it is a 16-second cooldown instead of a 24-second cooldown, they should patch that, in my opinion. Because if you go to someone like... Okay, so that homing Vortex, 50 hits. If I go to Tag Team Ichigo, and I go into his Vortex... Second strong attack, you'll see here plant 50 hit Vortex, but the cooldown is 24 seconds instead of 16 seconds. Trust me, this Vortex being 16-second cooldown is just fine. I don't think it's broken. I don't think it's what do you call it in this day and age, this meta. I think that it's a fine second strong attack. I think it's balanced. The 960 is still pretty broken. 960 homing Vortex still pretty broken, but I'm not gonna complain because I do like busted stuff. It is what it is. And yeah, I mean, I guess I will leave it at that. You guys grind on, catch up, him up, stay blessed. If you have Roka and you have Retsu, if you have this Retsu, you don't really need a summon for Roka, but I don't think that Roka is a bad character, and if you want to summon for her, by all means, do what you want. I mean, it is what it is. I don't think that she's a bad character at all.